What's up, guys? It's Sam and Taylor.
And we want you to put your shoes on
Pop open that energy drink
and go.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Sam.
Today is a fun women empowerment vibes, educated, strong bitch vibes with Dr. Robin B. Really cute, fun little interview. So stay tuned for that. But before that, let's talk about ourselves. So I'm having a hard time remembering what the hell happened the last 5 days. It kind of feels like it's been 10 years.
Yeah, I feel like kind of a lot's happened, but not really in the sense of nothing too crazy.
Yeah. We went out on Friday, got lit.
I know, guys, I've been having so much fun going out. I don't know what happened. I went through a phase of I don't want to drink. Now I'm in the phase of every Friday, fist pumping, let's go.
It's ever since you went home, because our friends recently, Sam's been I'm leaving early, and everyone would be stay, have fun with us. We want to.
Okay, also was the eyesight thing. I couldn't see shit at the bars, and I was I don't want to be here.
Yeah, but she'd always leave, and our friends were okay, want to hang out with her, but it's cool. And then last night we were going out, she's like, let's go crazy, and they were all what's going on? And I'm just enjoy it, because we don't know. Don't remind her what time it is. No one say a word. Just let her vibe.
You know what? This past weekend was so much fun, because if you guys remember from the episode from last week, we went out with a different group of friends that we haven't seen forever, but this weekend we were out with both of them. So it was our friends, our good friends, all of them, but then also our older friends from the beginning of the year, and we all meshed and mingled, and it was so fun. But then they ended up all going their separate way, which was kind of annoying. But
yeah, well, we tried. They were almost supposed to mesh, because I told our friend to meet us at the bar, and he went to a different bar.
Yeah.
Because there's a bar called Key Bar, and there's a bar called Latch Key.
And
so
we
we
were
at
both of
Key
them.
Bar, which was across the street from where we were, and my friend's texting me in the Uber. I'm like, Uber? Why are you in an Uber? We're across the street. And he's no, you're over here. I'm like, that's a different bar. I was I'm across the street. You don't need a car. Just walk. So that was a whole thing.
But I had so much fun. We've been going to Cat's Pajamas.
Oh, I love Cat's Pajamas.
Okay, I used to hate it for a little bit, but it's fun again.
Bars get old once you go to them 5 times.
Yeah, and
Give
but
me
then, but then you go back
weekends,
and you're then you go back and you're okay, I missed it here.
Oh, well, exactly.
It's my home. And then we went, guys, so we went out on Friday. We haven't been doing that, and I did a TikTok thing about 2 months ago, being guys, be real. Why do you guys like going on Fridays? And everyone was saying because you get 2 days to recover. And I'm that's so stupid. I don't need that.
It was great.
But then we did that this weekend. And oh my goodness, the 2-day recovery, amazing. Saturday, we did nothing. Sweetgreen, man.
Yeah, but I have things to say.
No, I know. I had to say it out loud before I forgot.
Don't go ahead of me.
I'm not.
I had so much fun out, and then I went back to my friend's apartment, unknowingly. I thought I was meeting them at another bar, and then literally getting in the car.
I stayed out.
I had to change the.
I was
yeah, I know. Sam stayed out, and I went home. But again, I didn't know I was going home. I had to change the Uber drop off. I was okay, well, I'm not going there by myself. Went to my friend's apartment. We played our favorite Monopoly game until 3 a.m. and I was I need to get home. Didn't go to bed until 5. Literally an animal, but I had so much fun.
Yeah, I stayed out because I was vibing with all the boys, the bros. It was me and 5 or 6 boys. We were vibing, having a good time. But then they were okay, let's leave. We're going to go back to the apartment and smoke and stuff. And I was you know what? I just don't want to be the only girl smoking on the roof with you guys. So I'm going to go home. And I Ubered home. And then, oh my goodness, Taylor was literally freaking out that I got kidnapped or something. But I get back at, I don't know, 2 a.m. And my phone, for some reason, somehow I disabled it. So I couldn't get on my phone. And I'm already hammered, did my skincare, was in my bed. Phone was disabled. And I'm trying to unlock it. And, I was just I'm too drunk. I'm too tired. And I just threw my phone to the other side of my bed and just did not answer a single person for the night. So Taylor's freaking out. Where is Sam?
Yeah. I'm a big text me when you get home person. I
figured you had my location and just knew.
I know, but so there was an iCloud update or something, so nothing iCloud related was working on my phone, and I didn't know how to get it back. And I realized today or last night what it is I had to re-accept a new terms and conditions and now everything iCloud related can work. So for a few days I couldn't use Find My Friends. No one was showing up.
Yeah.
And it was like an iCloud issue, so I couldn't see anyone's location. And that's just how I am. Like, I'm like, text me when you get home, text me when you get home. Like, that's just how I feel. And if someone doesn't, I'm like, oh my God, they died.
Also, now that I'm thinking about
So-
it, Connor has my location. You could have asked him to check.
They were all
And Haley. All of them have my location.
They were all fucked up in their own world.
Like, why did they check for you?
I don't know, but then everyone's like, she's literally like home and asleep, and I'm like, but you don't know, and I'm gonna blame it on you. I'm like, that even happened. Like, one of our friends, like, we were scootering, and like he got separated from us, and I was like, oh my God, like he definitely got hit by a car. Walked in the door like 2 minutes later, like, hey, and I'm like, see, I just like think like if you lose contact, that like I just assume the worst. So that's just how I am. But then Sunday we had our hungover Sweetgreen, as
Saturday.
we do. Oh, Saturday.
We went on
Sorry.
Friday.
Saturday we had our hungover Sweetgreen, as we do, and we walk into Sweetgreen. We're standing in line. A man appears from the kitchen, and me and Sam go,
Like a straight fucking goddess.
11 out of 10.
Like, he was at least like 6'2", like built like he hits the gym, like great
Tall,
haircut,
dark, and handsome,
like,
baby.
Oh my God. And I literally just look at him and I go, oh my God, toss my salad, baby.
I was like, what? I was like,
He didn't hear me say that, but like I was thinking it, and I was saying it to Taylor. I was like, toss my salad.
I was like,
And it took him like 10 minutes to come over and like actually make our salad. I was like, is he gonna come over? Like,
I was like,
I was
who is
getting
this man?
nervous.
I was like giggly. I was ordering like an idiot, like because I like couldn't even like stay focused. And then we were laughing at our own little joke because we laugh about the Dave Portnoy video of the guy with one arm with the suitcase. We laugh about that video like once a week.
Oh, it's so funny.
So we were having our weekly laugh about that video. And he started laughing, and I was like, you know what video we're talking about? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh my God, a man with good humor. I was like, you know what video we're talking about. I love you.
We literally like it's so embarrassing to think about because like we looked like shit.
Oh
We
yeah.
looked like dog shit.
I would have got ready.
We were literally like so hungover at that Sweetgreens. Like, and this is one thing I've noticed about us: when we're super hungover, we're super giggly. Like we're just like feral. Like wherever we are, we're just like cracking up about stupid shit.
Hear me out. I think that's just us on the weekend.
Yeah, that's facts.
But it is like yeah.
it like the being hungover aspect like really amplifies it.
It does.
And he discounted our fucking Sweetgreens.
Like in
Like
half.
we didn't even pay for protein.
We got $9 bowls each, and we both got double protein.
Like my bowl usually when I get double protein is like $18.
It was
He flirted with us.
crazy.
Is that how you flirt when you work at Sweetgreens? Someone that works at Sweetgreens, please DM us and be like, "Yep, this is how we typically flirt."
One
because
time-
I need to know.
One time a man at Kava just gave me my bowl for free.
Yeah, that's like.
I literally
I want to wife you.
He finished
Shit.
making my bowl, and he just goes, "It's on me. Have a good day." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's it. Take it." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Like it was like the best thing in the whole entire world. I was like, "Oh my God, that was so nice of him." But you know, the
No, it's
discounted
like,
Sweetgreen will do it.
Not to like not to your own room, but like, what if it was just like the register was broken, but like you just thought he was like flirting with you? You're like, oh my God.
No, the door said like free bowl day.
Yeah, and you're like, oh my God, he loves me.
He loves me. But yeah, Sweetgreen man really. And then I posted a TikTok about it, and now all these random guys are like, "It was me," and I'm like, "It wasn't you. Like it literally wasn't you.
Yeah,
at
like,
all.
wasn't
Shut
you.
up. Like it wasn't you. Don't even do me like that." And someone commented, "Oh my God, I know his girlfriend watching this." I was like, literally BFFR.
Yeah, but
like, be fucking for real.
someone actually said like, oh my God, like I actually know who you're talking about.
Yeah, because she definitely
Yeah,
lives
she
here.
definitely goes to that Sweetgreens and knows exactly what we're talking about.
There can't be that many. Like I literally said, I'm like, it's the really hot guy that works there. You know who.
Yeah.
Like, you know who it is. Let's be real. Like I haven't seen another hot guy that works there, and we've gone there quite a bit. So
Yeah. And so that was like kind of our entire. Oh no, it wasn't. We were kind of social Saturday night. We went and played basketball,
yeah, that's fun.
which I don't know how I got my act together. I'm not even kidding. Actually, this is such a lie. Waterboy like saved my life this weekend, and I had it like before going out and in the morning. And that this was my first like weekend going out where I wasn't like super hungover and like in bed by like 5 p.m. We went over to our friend's apartment and we played basketball. And I haven't played basketball in years.
It was I don't know the last time I touched a basketball.
It was so much fun. We were playing knockout, around the world, we'll pit horse. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I knocked out all the boys in one round, like literally within 30 seconds. And I was like, fuck yeah. Like,
yeah, Sam was dominating.
Let's go.
I beat her in horse, which is the only time I beat Sam in a sport. So
I was down bad for that game.
I don't know, it's the only time I've ever done it. So I just like, the whole world needs to know that it did happen one time last Saturday. So there we go. And we just kind of hung out with our friends on Saturday night. And then Sunday we had a girls' day.
We were out all day Sunday.
I love it.
It was so nice.
I want like Sunday fun. Like I love a Sunday fun day.
Me too. We're going to rearrange our schedule, guys. We're no longer doing the whole like grocery shopping, laundry, like chores on Sunday, because I realized for us, that type of stuff is like part of our work.
It's
like
content.
It's content. Like we record ourselves going to the grocery store. We record our grocery hauls. Like we record. Like I do usually like
a
reset
video,
like vlogs.
Yeah.
And I realized I'm like, I don't want to be working on a Sunday. Like fuck that. So we're gonna start going to the grocery store like midweek or like the beginning of the week. So that way it's like a part of like our content days. So that way we can allow ourselves to like actually like have fun on Sundays.
Yeah, because sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I'd love to make like a million like really nice like grocery haul videos, but it's like it's Sunday and like maybe I'm still hungover. Like it's like I don't want to be like doing that or on camera or like putting on like makeup right now. And then whereas on a Monday or a Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever, it's like, okay, like I'm ready to be filming and making content. Cause like guys, filming like a reset video of you cleaning, like I'm literally not trying to be like Paula, Michaela, that my job is so hard. Those like are like tedious to
very
film.
tedious.
So if I was like, I want to be filming this reset video all day, that's a full on work day on a Sunday now, rather than like, okay, you should do that midweek when it's actually part of your work. And like, I love Sunday resets, but for the purpose of our job, it just makes more sense to do a lot of that during the week and enjoy the weekend, because then we can also get better content, like vlogs, things like we can do more stuff outside the house on the weekend. So
we went to brunch. Well, okay, I would say it was brunch, but it was also kind of lunch.
It was like kind of, the menu was brunch.
Yeah, the menu was brunch, but we both got like lunch things. Like I got a chicken bowl.
Yeah, I almost got the like oatmeal like bowl thing.
Yeah, but we went to a nice restaurant on Sunday because like we like to go out to eat once a week, and we didn't go out to eat like on Friday or Saturday.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, Sunday, like let's go out to eat. And then we happened to be downtown already, so we were like, fuck it, like let's walk around, let's go shopping. We were popping around trying to find like New Year's Eve outfits. Didn't get anything sadly, but hopefully at some point find something, because we're getting really close. Soon. 2 weeks.
Yeah, I go home next weekend.
Yeah. So hopefully we find something.
Yeah. And
we then were like out and about, and one of our friends told us he was at a bar down the street, and we're like, let's go say hi. Like, might as well. It's literally like a few blocks away. So we walked over there. We were there for what, 15 minutes?
Literally not long at all. Like it wasn't like, it was literally just watching football. Like they weren't even IDing at the bar. There was babies.
But the funny thing is, so he was at Cat's Pajamas, which is the place we go all the time at night. And I was like, oh, like this is gonna be sick. Like it's gonna be pumping in there. Like it's gonna be bopping. Yeah. Like there's gonna be so many hot guys watching football. We get in there, it's like empty. Like there was like 2 tables of people, and I was like
they weren't even IDing. There was like babies in there. Like it wasn't even like a bar. It was just like TVs on. And because we're like, this is weird.
One time when we did do like a day football type thing, we went to Buford's, which is the biggest bar on West, and it was so packed to the point where like people were shoulder to shoulder bumping around. I was like, okay, maybe it's like kind of gonna match that energy, but not at all.
No, not at all.
I was like, okay, so how embarrassing.
But then our friends were like, we're gonna go play tennis, and at first we're like, oh my God, we're dressed cute. Like no, like let's do something.
Yeah, I'm like wearing cargo pants and like a crop top.
Let's do something better. But then it was like, no, like that's what we're doing. We're like, yeah, fuck it, let's go play tennis. And I think I realized I had so much fun, and I would love for my cardio to be like, let's play tennis. Then obviously I go to dance. I'm going to dance tonight. But like, let's play tennis and like go dance. Like that's like my heart rate was up.
Yeah.
Like, and we weren't even trying that hard because we weren't dressed for it. We didn't have enough rackets, so mostly the guys were playing like a good amount of the time. But like if I was there ready for it, that one thing where like we were throwing the balls back and forth.
Yeah.
God, I got my heart rate up.
Tomorrow I want to go to Dick's Sporting Goods and buy a racket.
Yeah, I literally got my heart rate up, and I was like, the weather's so nice right now because it's not like unbearably cold. It's just nice out. It just feels like air conditioning. So I want to go to Lululemon and get a skirt because I can also use a skirt for golf. So if I ever want to golf or play tennis, I have like a skirt for that, and then I can get like a top, and I can have a golf and tennis outfit to wear. And I was like, I need to get a tennis outfit, and our guy friends were like, those are hot. I was like, I know. So get ready.
Yeah, we gotta get a racket. I'm also waiting for Christmas to get my rollerblades because I'm gonna be rollerblading around our neighborhood. Not gonna be able to bring Matt because he's not gonna be able to keep up. But like, I'm gonna fucking go crazy. I'm gonna pop on a podcast and just like rollerblade around.
Crazy. Then you're
like,
gonna call me. I fell.
No, I will not. I'm a fucking pro. Get out of here.
I scraped my knee.
No, down bow. Growing up as a kid, like my knees were always scraped up from rollerblading. Always scraped up so bad. But can we also talk about the fact that everywhere we go recently, everyone's been referring to us as sisters?
Everywhere.
It's the weirdest fucking thing, guys. We look nothing alike.
Everywhere we go, they're like, oh, that's your sister? No. And I always think they just say that because it's like you're always together. So like maybe your sister. They're like, it's never like, oh, like I thought because it's always, oh, because you guys look so much alike. And I'm like, what?
I'm like, why did I? It's like, are we because we're wearing like the same type of outfits? Like, what?
No. Sometimes this is so funny. Like, I've had so many instances where someone that I hang around a lot, people start saying we look alike.
Yeah.
And the time it got the most out of hand was me and my friend from high school. We were always together. Okay, I'm 5'7". She's like 5 foot. She's black. I'm white. She has like braids in her hair. Like we look so. She's like Chinese Jamaican, so she is like age. We look nothing alike. Like we look zero alike. And one time my mom was like, you guys like kind of look alike. And I was like, what? I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
No,
like be real right now.
I do get the whole like when you hang around someone though so much that like not like the lifestyle things, but like the clothing style, like our jewelry is kind of like just like the little things that like kind of make like the appearance the same. But not like the actual like physical features of your body.
Yeah, but people definitely get like literally like, I've never like looked so like unlike a person. Like we look nothing alike, me and my old friend. And like when my mom said that, I was like, wow, this whole being around someone must really get to people, because in what world do we look the same?
Yeah.
like literally not at all. Like, oh my God, if I dyed my hair dark, what would happen to the world?
That's I kind of low-key want you to dye your hair darker.
Literally don't even talk about it because look, like here's the thing. When my hair is like about to need an appointment, like I get it. It needs an appointment. It needs a touch up. Right when I get it done, like I just got it done. If you're watching on YouTube, it looks fucking fantastic. Like this is my color and I love it so much. And I saw this girl, Ryan Sia. She's like a cheer girl on TikTok, whatever. I know who she is because I always get told I look like her. When I first started posting videos, I would get tagged with her stuff every day of people being like, this is your twin, this is your twin. Everyone thinks I look a lot like her. She recently posted a transformation where she had lighter hair and she dyed it dark. And like, I'm not like being a hater or anything. I don't like the dark. I wasn't a fan. I was like, I think it looked better before. And I was like, well, look at this. Everyone says I look just like her. And I think she looked better before. I was like, I feel like this is like, I'm not really too big of a fan of the new dark hair. Like it doesn't look bad. I just would prefer it differently. But I love my freshly done hair more than anything else in the world. And I'm keeping it like this. So
yeah. This is gonna like ruffle some feathers.
What are you gonna say?
No, what?
Ruffle some feathers, what?
For you.
Why?
Or like, I don't know. Like, what does that saying mean?
That I don't like her dark hair?
No. Like, I'm going to say something. Like, what does ruffle your feathers mean?
Like, it's going to piss me off?
Oh, is that what it means?
Like, yeah.
No, it's not going to piss you off then. I don't know what the right the right wording is for it.
Make me like,
oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm kind of like really debating and leaning towards like getting a boob job. I've been talking about it for so long.
You've been talking about that for like
I know, but today on my to-do list, because we talked about to-do lists like later in the episode, it's on there.
To go get one?
To call them. Today is the day, baby.
I'm terrified of surgery.
Okay, but the thing is, like, I don't want them to be super big. I want them to be like if you're familiar with the CCs or anyone listening is familiar with the CCs, like 200cc.
Yeah.
Like small.
I've always said before that I've always wanted to make my boobs more even, because I know everyone's gonna be like, everyone's boobs are uneven. I get it. Mine are worse. Okay. Like, and it's something you probably wouldn't notice unless I like showed you, but it's like, really not okay. Like, there's be pictures of me in sports bras, and it like it's like truly unwell, and I hate it. Like, and it's always been a thing that's like, I hate how it looks when I
just
wear,
don't
like,
have
sports
fucking
bras.
boobs.
So I've always wanted to like even them, because I hate it. Like, I hate how uneven it is, especially in a sports bra. It'll be so crazy different. Like, even in dance, I'm saying I'd be in a room full of girls, and it's like, they all know, right? Everyone's boobs are uneven, but they'd be like, yeah, you know, yours are pretty uneven. Like, you can definitely tell. And I'd be like, yeah, I know. But I'm like terrified of surgery.
I am too, but like honestly, like I'm like holding it off. Like I keep holding it off like too much, and it's like if I keep holding it off, it's just never gonna happen. And like the reason like I didn't really do it like going into the fall, because like I wanted to do it going into the fall, but I was like, oh, I'm gonna be traveling so much, like that's annoying, like with the recovery and everything. But it's like come back January, like I don't really have fucking plans all the way up until like April when I travel to Florida. So it's like
Right.
I have so much time to like chill and like relax and like have it, like
Yeah.
perfect timing. So I might really look into it. I'm gonna make my consultation and go from there.
Yeah, right now my thing with my boobs is wearing my bombshell bra when I go out. I just can't even get over, like, I have this one bodysuit from Abercrombie that they actually, this is what happens, like I've gotten PR from clothing companies, and then it's like I'm truly just become their customer. I got that bodysuit as like gifting from Abercrombie, and I went back myself and I bought another color because I mean, I couldn't, like, wait, I needed it, so I just bought it. And I was like, did this PR just influence me to buy something? Like, wasn't I supposed to influence?
I can't even wear a bombshell bra, bro.
I'm like, I was supposed to influence my followers to, like, now I just bought it myself. So I bought the bodysuit in a different color because wearing it with the bra, oh my God, like, it's crazy. It's just hard to find shirts that can cover bra straps because, like, that's just how I am wearing these little tiny shirts. But like, it's hard to find shirts that cover, but certain bodysuits are perfect because they're more covered in the back and they'll just be a V. Mm-hmm. So you can be all covered. So you're like sophisticated, but it's like boom.
Yeah, no.
And it's like,
I wish
so
I could
hot.
relate, but like literally when I put a bombshell bra on, I have one, and I put it on yesterday and I cupped my boobs, and like, literally nothing happened, and like I was just like, I'm supposed to be wearing a bombshell bra right now, like what the fuck is going on? So yeah, and I just want to feel like more feminine. Like my issue right now is like I love like flexing my upper body at the gym and stuff, but then like my sports bra, it's literally like you can see the striations like in my chest,
right?
But there's like no boobs there, and it's like I just feel like if I wasn't wearing a fucking sports bra, my upper body would look like a men's perky chest. Like, I'm serious.
Yeah, I mean,
like, I've low-key too much information.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like sometimes, and I'm like, oh, I wish like there was a little bit more, like just because sometimes I see.
You know that girl that I'm talking about that from the other day that we were like,
yeah,
she got. Those are the boobs I want. Like,
yeah, no.
Little,
sometimes
small, little
I'm
perky.
sometimes I'm like, I love it, and it's like looks really nice, but like
Alex Earl could not go that big.
Oh, they're huge.
Could never go that big.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I mean, she looks fucking
great,
amazing, but like,
could not.
I couldn't do it either.
I think it's just like also with the like lifestyle differences. Like she can do because she doesn't really like go to the gym, like lift heavy and stuff. But like if I were to do it with like, I just feel like proportionally, like I couldn't do it.
Right. I would agree. But yeah, I've always wanted to like even mine out because it's it's like something I really, 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 really hate. And I'm a big proponent of if you hate it, just get it worked on. Who cares?
Yeah.
There's an episode of Glee that was like all about that because like she wants a nose job and they're like, love yourself. And I'm like, you can get the nose job. Like,
yeah.
Who cares?
Who gives a fuck?
I got a comment the other day. I was like, would you ever get a nose job? And like, I'm like, fuck, do I need a nose job? Damn it. So that was really upsetting. Do you have anything else to say?
No, not really. To be honest.
My last thing I want to say, I'm sorry to kill the vibe. the news about Twitch this morning, today's Wednesday, what's today's date? The 14th, truly rocked my whole entire world. And I have been like flustered all day. Like my mind is so shook about it, and I truly can't believe it, and I'm really upset about it. And I just can't even believe that it's a real thing that happened. And mental health is so real, and what you see on the internet is not always real. Like if you look at this guy's social media, literally 2 days ago, which was the day before he passed away, there's just like a dancing video, like, and it's like he lives this amazing life, this beautiful wife, rich, beautiful kids, and it's like you don't know what someone's going through. And I don't think anything of why it happened had to do with social media. I mean, I don't know, but I don't think so. But for a lot of people, that contributes to their mental health a lot. So be kind to people on the internet, because these celebrities and these people that literally have it all, like, you don't know what people are going through. So be fucking nice to people, because it's really, really scary that shit is happening. Like that, like something that could happen is just like, I don't even know. It's really like shaking me up today. So just be nice to people.
Yeah, I'm happy you brought that up.
Yeah, because it's like, I don't know, I feel like people wouldn't think, like I said, I really don't think for him that was like at all related. I really don't think so. But like for someone, like it definitely, like, I think, like, sadly, I think that's something we're gonna see happen.
Yeah,
because of how fucking mean people are on the internet. So just like, you don't know what the fuck people are going through.
Even if like you think like they even in the slightest deserve like hate for maybe something they did or anything on social media, it's just like, keep it to yourself.
Yeah, if you don't like someone's content, unfollow.
Like literally keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
So
and with that, just wanted to put that out there, because just like, rest in peace. I'm literally so sad about it. But with that, let's get into the interview. Hello guys, now we're here with Dr. Robin B. We are so excited. First of all, I just want to say you're like stunning. No, stop. Do you want to give everyone a little intro, who you are and what you do, all of that?
Oh, for sure. So as you said, I'm Dr. Robin B. The doctor isn't about my CPT. I'm also a certified personal trainer, but I'm a pharmacist. So that's my background. I started out just really loving medicine and things like that. But I realized medicine is for when people actually need it, right? So this is when, you know, you're on your deathbed or you have a serious disease. And I think that there's so much we can do preventatively before we get to that point. So that's why I started my fitness journey. And then I just started to fall in love with the process and started to educate people about fitness, supplements, and things like that.
I love that approach like so much, because I honestly wasn't really expected. Like obviously I kind of knew a little bit of like what you kind of really pushed on your page, but like the whole emphasis of before the medicine is like a really cool touch. So I like that. I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah, and I think it's also a good perspective, because in the world that's kind of dominated by like the big pharma stuff, like the stuff with like the opioid crisis, like that stuff is really, really serious. So I think to have people in the field that actually vouch for the other side of things, and not like, well, this is my job and it's how I'm going to make money by prescribing you pills, you know, actually being real with what you can do before you get there. So I think that's really important to hear, and I can't wait to dive into that.
Of course.
But I want to kind of do a little, I know you said that's why you started your fitness journey, but can we go more deeper into like, how did you start?
Yeah, for sure. I think for everyone, even if you were into fitness already, you kind of got a boost of energy and like urgency during the pandemic, right? Like we all fell off a little bit. We felt the need to do something and make a change. And so that was that for me. I was approaching 30 actually. So I was like, okay, by that time, I want to be in the best shape possible. But I actually have a background as an athlete. So I played soccer my whole life, cheer and dance competitively all over the world. So like getting back into shape wasn't that hard for me. I think what was hard was the consistency. So that was when I said, okay, I'm actually in fitness because I do this every day. This is a lifestyle. This is not just, you know, something I do for Instagram or something that I do just to stay fit. This is what I do to make myself feel good. So that's how I got into it.
Yeah, I feel like we can definitely relate on
Yeah.
that one. I was an ex college athlete, so I played lacrosse and field hockey.
Yeah.
So it kind of was like hard to transition into like having a team and like people to rely on to have like that quote unquote like motivation and like discipline to like, okay, like how do I make this into like my lifestyle where it's being incorporated every single day?
Yeah. And I used to dance too. So I had that like same thing of just like, okay, I used to move every day
Move,
for
yeah.
2 hours a day. Now what do I do kind of thing. But agreed, we also started like in the pandemic because it was like you had nothing else to do. And it was like, if you're going to take care of yourself and get yourself in the best health possible is definitely the time.
Yeah.
And I feel like so many people that come on, they all say they started.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, am I the only one? But by now I know I'm not. I'm like, everyone at
Yeah.
least got like that urgency, like, okay, I got to make a change. Cause like, what was most important wasn't drugs weren't helping us, right? Like even the doctors we looked up to didn't have the answers. And so I was just like, okay, this isn't okay. I think that it starts with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was gonna ask if it was always part of your life, but obviously you said you were like always active. Like, is that since like childhood? Like literally
Yeah.
since like what age did you start playing sports?
Yeah, I think what happened was my parents threw me in everything. I did ice skating, ballet, tap dance, gymnastics a little bit. But when I did competitive cheer and dance, like that gymnastics came back. And soccer was really good. Just like overall like team, playing with people. And so when it got to fitness, where I am now, it's like that accountability circle or having a group of people, a community was really important, but something that comes naturally to me. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What are your like goals now, fitness wise? Like with you and your fitness journey and your coaching, like what's your main goal? What's your main, even like your own physical goals, but also your goal of what you want to get like out there to like other girls or guys if you do girls and guys.
Yeah, I do both because of like the intensity in which I train. Like I'm a very hit driven person, so like a lot of women, like lower intensity sometimes. So I train both, but my goals would be to just like with pharmacy. So when it came to that, I kind of realized I needed to make a transition out of the pharmacy because that's just my small community, right? That's just the pharmacy I'm serving, the hospital I'm serving. I'm only helping those people. So that's why I took it to my platform on Instagram, social media, TikTok to kind of spread that knowledge and help more people. So that's what I want to do with fitness is like outside of just the one-on-one training, outside of like group fitness every now and then, like how can I touch lives? So just a lot more online coaching, a lot more online tutorials, like doing better with YouTube and just like keeping up with how to like stay in touch with my community.
I like that. I have a question for you because obviously we were looking at your Instagram, but I didn't scroll too far back, like years
Okay.
wise. But the Pretty Little Thing. So you're referred to as the Pretty Little Doctor.
Yes.
So where did that start from, and like how did that come about? Were you doing on social media before, like kind of bringing on the fitness stuff? Were you doing a lot of like fashion too and lifestyle?
That's a good question because that's exactly how it went. So, speaking
Yeah.
of which, like this shirt isn't essentials, it's essential worker. So that's a
Ooh,
part of
okay.
my brand, for Pretty Little Doctors. But yeah, I was working with Pretty Little Thing for so long and Fashion Nova as my first brand deals. I was actually in school during the time. I remember the story is that like I had a fashion brand before pharmacy school, right?
Okay, yeah.
So I kind of went from my hometown of Washington, D.C. to LA to pursue that. Of course, I had like my degrees in science and biology and things, but like I was putting that on a hold to go pursue this whole like lifestyle with my fashion line. So when I did that, it helped me be able to understand the camera and like what I want to see. And I was shooting a lot of models, meeting a lot of people. And then when I got into school, I was like, oh crap, like what if they look at my page and they're like, oh my God, she's wearing this, like I didn't want to be judged right away. So I created a whole new page. Like that page had 60K thousand
Oh
followers. And
wow.
this was like back in 2000, I don't know, like 16 or something. And so then I was like, all right, I needed to make a change. So I made a whole new page and that page went viral again. So I was like, all right, this is what I need to do. So I had to juggle both like brand deals and social media and school at the same time. And so I was like, you know what? Let me make my own product line. And that's Pretty Little Doctors. Now it's like a platform on Instagram just for like inspiring women and like women empowerment. And every now and then we have like clothing drops.
Yeah, that's so cool.
That is cool.
I like that a lot. Yeah, I had to ask because I was very curious when I was looking at that, like where it started from. So
Good catch.
yeah.
So now that you said like with going through school, how was that process for you? Did you always knew that you wanted to like become like a doctor and go through all that school? Was that always a goal for you?
It was. And like I said, the world was so different back then, like it wasn't like a career path to be an influencer. But I
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
always was prone to like camera, even like MySpace days, I would have cameras everywhere. My friends were like, okay, like there's no point in this. But I just still had that like creativity side. So that's why I'm finally able to marry the two. You know what I mean? Like my knowledge in science and pharmacy and fitness and social media.
Mm-hmm. So someone that's going through that, like they want to be fit, they want to do social media, they're trying to like be badass, get their doctorate.
Yeah.
How was that for you balancing that? Like how did you manage?
Well, I think it goes back to discipline. And I think the same discipline we have in the gym is the same one that you have in school. Think about it, like school we've been doing our whole life. No matter how far you've gone in school, it's like we know what it is. We know that we have to get this assignment in by this time, that we have to study. Like we know what it is. So it's just like putting in your 10,000 hours, right? Just saying, okay, if I'm going to be great at this, if I want to be a doctor, I'm going to have to put in that work, that consistency, just like your body, right? So just think about your studies, just like the gym, and just show up every day.
What was your like could you give like what was your like day-to-day schedule like?
So back then, I think it was more the algorithm was like trending towards pictures. Remember, it wasn't the
Mhm.
reels or TikToks and videos. So it was easier for me to stack content. So like I would go to school, because it was like it's literally like a 40-hour week in class. And so I'd be in there like it was work, and then I would get off and then shoot a bunch of content and then just roll it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
S- Um, what was like? Did you balance? Like, were you able to balance like the other like going out with friends, like doing all of that, or was it just like a grind?
Yeah, that part kind of had to take an L, had to take a back seat, but people knew what I was doing. And I think that's what's important is like when you're going for those type of goals, people understand. Like your friends get it. Like they're not going to force you to go out. It may be difficult like in the beginning, but once they understand, like the real ones are going to stay around. So, yeah, I didn't have much of a social life, but again, building community anywhere you go, I was building that in school as well, right? So I had my group of friends there.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's like it all pays off, and now you're at the age where now like you run your own businesses, do your own thing, and now you have probably, I mean, not more free time because obviously running your own businesses is like a full time job, but more flexibility.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. More FaceTime. You know what I mean? Like more, it's just more relaxed. Like even this, we're doing things a lot more virtual versus like I would have to go to class. Like there was nowhere else I
Mm-hmm.
could be. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. So then you graduate and then you start working as like a pharmacist. What does that like actually entail for people that don't know? Because I feel like a lot of people, like I hear pharmacist and I just think of like picking up my prescription at
Right.
CVS.
Yeah.
And I don't really know what goes into the back end of doing that as a career. If you want to
Yeah.
like explain.
Of course. I love this question. So the reason why it's a doctorate is because it is a 4-year program, right? But then after that, you get the option, just like a MD or a DO, to do residency. So if you do residency, you're able to work in different like specialized practices like the hospital or like, with pediatrics or, with cancer, like you're able to be the pharmacist for that. But if you just graduate and you jump into the workforce like I did, this is the retail setting. So the retail is your CVS, your Rite Aid, your Walgreens. Now, what happens is you can still do so much more like MTM, like medication management, because like people get their drugs but then they keep getting prescribed by different doctors, and so they have this full list of drugs. So there's pharmacists that go through that list to be like, okay, you shouldn't be taking this with this because now this is contraindicated and your doctor didn't catch it. So I think the life of a pharmacist is really just making sure the patients got the right medication, because the doctors aren't the experts in medication. They really don't. that's not their specialty. Their specialty is diagnosing and being able to find out what's wrong, but we fix the problem. So even when you just put in your prescription, we're there to make sure that does the insurance check out? Is it the right medication for you? Does it interact with anything else that you have? And then we give it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I did not realize that.
Yeah, I didn't really
I
realize
just thought
that
I was
either.
just going and picking up my prescription.
I really did never actually know, because I think I actually know a few other people in high school that ended up going to school and wanted to do pharmacy, and I always just thought, like, I never knew what that really entailed as far as school and like what it took to get there. So I find that really interesting. Another thing I want to ask about becoming a doctor is how important, because I saw in one of your pin posts, just like how important representation is to you, especially just being like a woman of color, like doing this in this industry. Like, if you want to speak on that.
Of course, like it's really important. First of all, pharmacists as a whole are a very, very quiet industry. Like you haven't really seen pharmacists be like, "Hey, I'm a doctor," or, "This is what we really do." Like you don't see that because at the end of the day, we're like chemistry and math. Like we're very nerdy in that aspect. So I just feel like it's really important that I speak out for the industry and say, you know what, not only am I, a woman of color in this industry, but also there's another career path that you can take, which is the one I'm taking, where you can talk about other naturopathic, preventative medications out there in order to avoid that. Because as a pharmacist, we know so much about the body, but we don't want to admit it, but we have to know the body to know how the drugs work. So I think that it's really important that I fill up space, that other girls like me that look like me fill up space as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's really important. What is like some advice that you give, like especially on social media and stuff like that, in regards to, like you said, like the natural, like oh my god, why can't I speak?
Preventative.
Preventative.
Yeah.
Well, I can't speak sometimes. But yeah, like what is some advice you give for that?
Yeah, so I just think it's kind of the things that a lot of fitness people talk about, but kind of reiterating like the facts behind it.
Yeah.
Like even like protein, like the importance, right? Like I think it's really important that we either get it through our diet or supplements because it makes up who we are. It's like the size and shape of our muscles, right? And when we work out the way we work out, we need to recover. And that's one of the ways how we do it. And then BCAAs and talking about all the different supplements, but like why? Like that's my angle, is like not just because this person's taking it and they look like this, because we don't know what else they're taking. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of muscle people talking, but like what are the real facts and what does our body need? So that's how I kind of see it when I approach social media.
Yeah, that's really good.
Can we dive into like any maybe examples that you have or maybe are like really passionate about, or like a medication commonly prescribed that might have other natural lifestyle changes that you should do first? Like, are there any that come to mind?
Well, I'll just say like a disease state. Like I really do think diabetes is like something that like our diet and exercise can kind of reverse, because again we have these things that we measure, which are called like the A1C, your fasting blood glucose, like all these levels are determined by what we eat and when we eat them. So a lot of times it's like the order in which we eat food will like lower our glycemic index. Like if we have potatoes and eggs, if we eat the eggs first, we're not spiking our insulin. So I think paying attention to hormone balance and diabetes, so like metformin and things like that, is like sometimes you need it and sometimes you can actually use diet and exercise.
Mm-hmm. And I think I even feel that way. Like it's common too with like, I feel like dermatology too.
Yeah.
Like when people, like acne and skin stuff, like, cause I was put on like antibiotics and stuff, like when I had acne in high school, and like, I always just thought it was crazy that no one even asked any lifestyle questions. They just gave it to me. And even with like, right now I take like SSRIs, and it's like, even before that, like it was like a thing of all the different lifestyle changes I could do before I took it. But I know that there's people that probably like don't have as good of a situation as I did, and they don't go through every single lifestyle change you can make before they take it. And they're just prescribe things without looking into it. Because for me, it was like, she was like, okay, you go to the gym, you're eating right, you're sleeping right, like you're doing all these things. yeah, like then it's like, okay, this medication's a last resort. But if you're going on certain medications and you don't sleep good or like eat vegetables, it's like maybe start there.
Yeah, even like the same too. Like I've been like recently struggling. I came off of hormonal birth control, so like I was never educated on like the proper way to be eating, exercising, just like really like focusing on my cycle. And like now I'm like finally not on the pill, and like I'm really working on like the way I'm eating, the foods that I'm incorporating and stuff like that. So even in the pharmacy aspect, it's really important to like kind of raise awareness for, because like think about it, no one's really talked about. I've never really sat down and talked about this before.
I know. And that's why I love talking on things like this, because I get to find out what people don't know. We can't assume people know, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's hard whenever you're the expert in a field to be able to feel where people need you. But like you said, hormonal control, PCOS is a big deal for women. So like I plan to speak out about those things more. And like you said, even antidepressants and different things like that, it's like people don't understand you need to be on those kind of like long term. You can't just stop those type of medications. And then when you talk about the acne, like any antibiotics, people don't understand you have to finish the full course or there'll be like resistance in your body. So yeah, so those are really important things for sure.
We both recently within the last 6 months stopped taking our hormonal birth control pills. I don't know if that's something you have any like thoughts, feelings, like things about, but we'd love to hear any like advice or knowledge you have if you have it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like that's again your choice, especially as a woman, like what you're doing it for. Like there's so many reasons to stop that. You could have had bad side effects and different things like that. But I think just knowing your body and listening to your body, right? Because everyone's different. So just because something worked for someone doesn't mean it'll work for you. And just kind of like just knowing like that the drugs have a lot of side effects on the body. They do what they're meant to do, right? But like they're not going to make you feel good in other areas. So I don't judge anybody for just abruptly stopping, but kind of try to like talk to your pharmacist, because pharmacists actually can prescribe them. Like that's one thing that we do have autonomy over. So like depending on the one that it is, maybe there's like some sort of taper that you need to do to get off. Or like something like you said, what do we need to know in order to naturally get through this? So
Yeah, that's actually really interesting that like I like if I needed to, I could come to you for like help, because when I would go to like my appointments and like discuss with them about my birth control, they would just be like, okay, we're just going to switch you to this one.
Right.
Like, oh, I'm having like no period, or I'm not having any sex drive, or just like anything where I'm having a conversation. It's just like no explanation, no nothing. They just switched the birth control. For 8 years I was on it, and they switched me, I would say like 6 times.
Oh my God.
And I never on any of the birth control I was on, like ever had like, there was always something wrong.
Yeah.
So it's good to know that I could have actually gone to someone else and discussed that.
Yeah. I think it's just a cool conversation to open, because I never hear anyone talk about medication ever. Like I didn't know until when? I would say until like a few months ago, and I've been taking my antidepressants for like 2 years. I didn't know that you can't just stop them.
I know. You can't. Mm-mm.
I literally had no idea. And then I learned, I'm like, oh my God, wait, that can cause like seizures if you just stop. Like I had no clue. And I'm like, I think someone should have told me that.
I
like,
know. Yeah,
like
definitely.
No one told me that.
No, it's really important, but I think it's so taboo to even say that you're on medication. So that's why I commend you guys for even saying that, because that's why we don't talk about it. But again, like I said, I think that I need to start just being more general, because a lot of people are going through a lot and they need to know this information. And like you said, some of our doctors, they're just not medication experts. Nothing against them. They're very great at what they do, but they just don't know how the drug actually, like the chemistry behind the drug, you know?
Yeah.
So
I definitely wish, like, obviously I don't want to like cut anyone out there short of like their education and their job, but like at least from my experience, like I wish like I got more explanation on why my body was responding a certain way, or why I was changing my birth control, or just like more details for me to truly understand, because it makes it kind of like intimidating and scary when you actually want to maybe get off of it, or like learn a little bit more. Where do I begin? And so it's just more, it just needs to be more of a conversation that needs to be have with your, doctors and stuff.
for sure. And I just always say that like pharmacists you can utilize them. Like the ones in CVS, you can ask them about medication without having an appointment, without having insurance. You know, you can just literally walk up to them and ask. And I feel like people don't utilize that enough.
That's good to know.
Yeah, I feel like I thought like let's say the girl handing me my prescription, because like there's not much interaction. I always thought like,
Yeah.
okay, is this girl actually like what qualification does she have? Does she just like work at CVS and she's
Right.
just handing it to me? Like, you know, like is she just like basically a cashier, or does she like know about the medication? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think what's cool with social media is conversations like this can be had, and like people can get so much information from even things like your podcast, because you do a podcast, and like people's Instagrams and all of this with so much information that before you had to go sit down at a doctor's office and like ask a question or like Google it from like any random website, and now you can get so much information like from anyone on Instagram.
I think it's awesome, but I think it's also like we got to be careful of who we're listening to.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes.
You know, like everyone, you know, they watch YouTube University and now they're experts, and nothing's wrong with that, you know, because it just takes, like I said, your 10,000 hours of learning something. But it's like when you put that certification or that degree behind it, it just makes it a little bit more valuable. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Definitely taking it from the credible people
Yeah.
online, and not because the YouTube experts will really or in the TikTok comments. I'm sure you probably get it, even though you're like extremely educated. You get comments of people telling you
that you're
what
wrong.
to do, that like you're wrong, and it's like pull up with like the degree and then we can talk, but like what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's just how it is on social media.
Yeah, I'm sure, especially like being in the field, I'm sure with like all the COVID stuff going on, talking about that or sharing anything about that, just everyone gives their opinion.
Yeah, that was
I do have a question though, like in terms of like the niche on social media of like pharmacy and fitness, like do you see a lot of that? Because like from my end I don't, but I don't know if maybe like because that's the type of content you're putting out, you know, you usually typically see the content you're putting out, vice versa, or do you feel like it's kind of like silent out there of that type of content?
I think it's pretty quiet.
Yeah.
I've seen like men maybe like farm fitness, but they're just really like focused on just like hypertrophy and things like that. But I think, like you said, a woman of color who's like fresh, new, like really a creator as well, with education, and just like I feel like I make it fun. Like I'm always
Oh,
gonna
100%.
entertain, like it's edutainment at the end of the day. So people doing it like that, no. So that's why for me, I always get discouraged, but I'm like, you know what, this is new, you know, and it'll catch on because it needs to. Like you said, people have these questions and they want to like, you don't want to go to a doctor that's all stuck up and you know what I mean? Like you can't tell that you're even on birth control. They're going to judge you. So like, that's who I want to be, is like the friendly doctor who's here to help.
Yeah, I love that.
No, it definitely does, especially like for women. It's so cool to see people like you coming into a space like that, because when you're so used to going in and getting like this, like any information, like medical information, anything kind of like serious in that matter from like older men, like actually having like a cool girl who's like wearing Fashion Nova on Instagram, you know what I mean? Like it's just comforting to be like,
yeah, that is so badass.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's not like, oh, you have to talk to some like 60-year-old man who like couldn't relate to you in
relatable.
the
Yeah,
slightest.
that's what I'm saying. I'm definitely a girl's girl. Like, you know what I mean? Like I have my PMS, I have all these things, so I understand like what it means. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it's not to obviously like, yeah, they're probably educated, but like times change. Like I even think like the dermatologist I used to see was like a like older man, and it's like how are you gonna help me with my like teenage girl skin and like what I go through and like relate to me and ask me about my
textbook
life? Like
they're just like
yeah, they're just like, oh, looks like acne, oh, take this. And it's like, but what about my life and like my hormones, and like I'm like 15, like going through puberty, like I don't know, like speak to me. So I'm
here for anyone out there who needs that. Can always reach out to me, DM me, and just, you know, like turn on your post notifications and just like keep watching my content, because eventually I'll start to hit everybody's concerns.
Yeah, that
Right.
is a good point. I was gonna ask you too, like, what's one thing that you really, really push? I know she kind of asked something similar to that, but like one thing right now that you've been really trying to push, like the like narrative behind like pharmacy and fitness.
Yeah, so I think supplements is going to be like something I focus on. Like today, I just did a reel about, glutamine, like random supplements that people don't understand and just make it easier to understand. Like there's financial literacy out there. I want to be able to give medication literacy and even like form and different things because people are intimidated by the machines, like all things education as it relates to fitness. And then I'll dab into pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty much good to cover.
Yeah, and I like that you said like with the whole supplement thing, like
Yeah.
kind of like not like dumbing it down, but like really like simplifying it because I feel like sometimes when you go to like somebody's page or someone's trying to talk about a supplement, it's very overcomplicated and like intimidating, and people don't really know where to start when like someone's trying to discuss supplements. Like one thing for me is like when I do talk about supplements on my page, I get straight to the point right away
Yeah.
because I do not want to intimidate anyone at all.
Yeah, or they dumb it down too much and they're just like, look how hot I look. I take
Oh, yeah,
this.
yeah.
Like,
And like that's it.
Yeah, no.
there's more to
But
it.
I want to like finish off with like one more thing before we end up. I just want to ask, like, right now in your day-to-day routine, what are like one or two or a couple, if there's a lot, whatever, like some of your daily like healthy, like non-negotiable habits that you're like really into right now?
Yeah, I think what's really important now to me is like yoga or getting like a good stretch.
Ooh.
I literally just do 10 minutes. Sometimes I may add in like 10 minutes of breath work, like specifically, because like that's the only thing that we can truly control. Like when life is chaos, we can control our breath. So I like to start with that. And then also just getting in cardio. Like I'm trying to do way better with that. So every day I have a treadmill in my house, so there's no excuse. So I definitely just try to get that in. Meditation, like I said, with the breath work, and then also just writing down your daily goals, I think is really important before starting the day. A lot of times we just jump right into it, but we have to write that down. And then making sure, like I said, you have your post stack after you work out, like making sure you get your protein in, or you're getting in enough meat or beans or whatever it is that you get your protein from, making sure you get that in every day. And then after that, I feel like whatever else comes in my way, I'm good to go.
Love that. I totally agree with like the little list of things for the day. I do that
Right.
every night. I just do it in my phone notes, super simple, but so that way the next morning I'm waking up and I have everything just written down, ready to go for the day.
I need to get back to that. I have a planner over there that I'm staring at right now that I used for like a month and then I stopped using it, and I need to like start using it again.
You will.
because,
It's a
like,
new year, new you.
Yes,
Facts.
so true. Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
Do you have any New Year's like goals?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, just to educate more, build my community, like maybe get on bigger platforms to showcase like who I am, and
Heck yeah.
I think it'll happen.
I love that for you.
Yes, it definitely will. So, do you want to let everyone know where they can find you? Like, what's your at on everything, your podcast, all
Yeah,
that?
of course. So you guys can find me at Dr. So just Dr.Robin with an I B. That's TikTok, that's Instagram, and then remove the period for YouTube and Facebook. Yeah.
Cool. She's all over
Amazing.
the place.
On it all. Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on and chatting with us. I had such a good time.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies.
Bye, guys.
Bye.